Welcome to Glorious Life on Wheels. The story I'm sharing today is probably one of the saddest I've ever aired, and demonstrates that everyone living in a van as a nomad is not doing so by choice. This is Teresa, who lives and sleeps in the front seat of her minivan. Teresa came to the United States 30 years ago in search of the American dream. Instead, after faithfully serving a family for almost a decade, she was discarded after she was no longer of use. With no retirement, Social Security, or severance pay, Teresa has worked a series of low-paying jobs, but even those dried up during the pandemic. And now, due to her circumstances and advanced age, even finding menial jobs is difficult for her, despite her desire to work. Hello, Miss Teresa.
Hello.
Thank you so much for doing this interview. It's my understanding that you are in your 80s. Is that correct?
82.
82.
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been living in your van?
Before la pandemia.
Now, you had told me that you were with the same family as a babysitter for many, many years. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Teresa explained that she was taking care of and being the nanny for 3 children, but as the children got older, they needed less and less the services of a nanny, and so eventually the parents told her her services were no longer needed. When you left that family, did they give you any money to help you get started on a new life or doing something different? Teresa explained the family did not give her any money or offer any help, but they did give her a letter of reference. So right now, with you not working, how do you support yourself? How do you pay for gas, for food, take showers? How do you take care of all those needs? Teresa explained that there is a program that provides showers a few times a week in a mobile shower unit. The homeless outreach program also occasionally gives her money she uses for gas, and she gets food from the food banks. I'm also guessing she may collect cans like other homeless in the area do. So do you have any family nearby that can help you, or relatives that can help you or provide somewhere for you to live or stay?
No, no tengo familia aquí. Lo que quisiera es trabajar. Es más importante.
I have some friends. If we could build something for you, what would you like? Teresa said she would like a bed if that is at all possible. At this point, I asked Teresa if she could ask God for one thing, what would she ask? And she began to cry. This made me start crying, and the interpreter who was helping me started crying, but Teresa was able to say she would ask God to help her to find a job and no longer have to live in her car. As you can imagine, this was a very emotional and difficult interview to do. And while Teresa's situation is different in many ways from many people who are living in vans and vehicles not by choice, there are some similarities, especially when it comes to seniors who have worked for many, many years and get to an age where they can no longer work and find themselves discarded or abandoned and left to fend for themselves. There are many components of Teresa's situation that are far above my ability to address and would need to be addressed by someone else. But what I can help her with, along with some friends, is getting her a comfortable bed, and that's what we're going to try and do. Now, the obvious challenge to doing that is, as you could see from the video, the entire back section of her van is stuffed with her belongings, from the back of the seat all the way to the back window, all the way up to the ceiling. And that's why she has to sleep in the front 2 seats. And we're going to have to find a way to get all of that stored somewhere and then have her declutter it and downsize. So I gave it some thought after I left from doing the interview, and I got back with Teresa and I told her that I was willing to rent a storage unit for a month. What we'll do, me and some friends, will empty out the back of her van into the storage unit, which will make the van available for them to do the build on the back section of it. But the difficult part, I anticipate, is going to be getting Teresa to let go of some of her possessions. I know when you have so little, what little you have must really take on extra value. But if she doesn't get rid of some of it, what's going to happen is she's going to be back in the same situation. She'll just have all the stuff piled on her bed and the stuff, and she'll be back and sleeping in the front. So really, for us to be willing to do this, she has to agree to downsize and only keep what can reasonably fit in her van. So stay tuned. I'm anticipating that we'll get started on this project sometime the 1st of April. And I will keep you posted on how things come along, show you a before picture and an after picture, and let you know how things work out. So stay tuned, follow along, and let's see what we can do to help Teresa. Meanwhile, I love each and every one of you, and I hope your journeys are filled with joy and blessings, and I will see you next time.